Hey Simon, you well?
Hello, John. Nice to talk to you. Yes, very well, thanks.
So let's talk about the Dublin show. First of all, 7th of May, 3 Arena. It's been an amazing year for the band. So many shows, so many highlights, but I'm sure you're looking forward to that one, eh?
Well, we had a great show in Dublin last year in the park, and the crowd was amazing. So I'm very happy to take the show indoors, and very happy to go indoors and play somewhere with a with a lid on the kettle. It'll be exciting, very exciting.
Yeah, I mean the band have never sounded better. It's just been working so well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think we've managed to learn as we've developed, as we've got older, and lots and lots in lots and lots and lots of ways. From the fact that now we go on tour, and the show is the focus of everything, rather than the partying, which used to be the focus of everything. And to just sort of things like technique. For me, singing technique, I've learned how to do a tour and not blow my voice out and things like that.
I've been doing quite a bit of work recently with one of your backing singers, Rachel O'Connor, of course.
Ah, great.
We were talking about the audition and stuff that she did with you, and Give It All Up being such a key part of that. What are your memories of that audition?
Well, she came around my house, and we sat down. I put some music on, and I picked the most difficult things, and I thought, I can tell that she had a good ear and that she could take direction. And then I played Give It All Up, and she just kind of went, "Oh, I love that song," in her lovely musical way of talking, with that lovely accent that she has, that lovely Derry girl accent. And I just and the enthusiasm for it suddenly came through, and I thought, you know what, I don't think we're going to get anybody better than this. And also, she's young, and I really wanted to have to work with somebody who's at the beginning of their career, and to be able to kind of develop. And she has developed so much as a singer. I don't know if she knows that, but she has. She's grown in confidence. Her voice has got stronger, richer. Her range is bigger. She's got much more of a low range now, whereas previously she was sort of up in the her upper register more. She's just really growing as an artist, and I'm very, very happy to be part of that development for her. I'm proud of that, and because I know how people can mess singers up, with too much intervention, with too much advice and everything. And I just think that the most important experience she's having is getting on stage with a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
That's something that is really new for her, and she is such an integral part of the show now. I think I feel very vindicated anyway.
Yeah, you should. I mean, I've been playing her song, her own single Domino, on my radio show, and it's getting a really good response. Hopefully 2023 will be a big year for her.
I
Right?
hope so. Yes, yes, yes.
And Give It All Up is a real standout moment in the show, isn't it?
Totally is. I mean, we have the both girls come down to the front of the stage at that point. So the preceding song is actually "Come Undone," which I do with Anna Ross, and it just kind of ups the whole mood of the show at that point, to just have that strong female energy, that very, very present female vocal, part of the show at that point.
And as for Future Past itself, I mean, I was saying to Roger earlier on there that, I think an album needs 6 months to a year to really kind of bed in, because you know yourself, when something's new, it's all wonderful and shiny, and it's the best thing anyone's ever done. But
Yeah.
but I do think, I mean, now, certainly for me anyway, that Future Past stands up as one of Duran Duran's best albums. I mean, it's got the lot, hasn't it?
Well, I think so too. Yeah, I mean, it's got a real kind of core of it's not a concept album, but it has a core concept, and that is this kind of being able to survive, but being able to stick to your true values as you develop. I mean, I think the title "Future Past" is so appropriate for us, because we are, of course, completely rooted in our past, but as a band, we've always wanted to look to the future, to try and do something new, and to try and be part of the future of music. And I think that it really does it has staying power. The album, it's got the songs are deep. There's lots and lots of layers to everything, which
Yeah.
means that they can stand being listened to time and time again.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, people at this time of year talk about their Spotify wrap up, but my vinyl from the shelves wrap up this year. I mean, Future Past is the album I've played most in the past 12 months.
Wow, really? That's amazing, John. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, from the extended collection of songs as well, Simon, the one I keep coming back to is Laughing Boy.
That's so funny because that really didn't make it as sort of in the opinions of the band and production. Well, actually, the band and Errol to be on the main album, but it has some very special things about it. One of them is the story, which is this idea of being kind of you've basically been somebody's sidekick, and you can see that it's not good for you. This guy, and he's still doing the same old stuff as he's doing years ago, and it's going to end badly, and you're cutting yourself free from that. And I think that's something that is very relevant to certainly to me in a personal way for some things, but also for sometimes you have to know when you have to know when it's time to change, when it's time to change, and time to say goodbye, but also to recognize the good times that you had. So there's that story to it, but then musically, it's got a chorus that has like an extra layer to it. It's got the first part of the chorus, and then it goes up to like a kind of super chorus, which I love. I love the fact it's got two choruses. And also the other thing I love about it is, I don't know if the backing vocals, "Your last man boy," which is very much kind of, I'm a big fan of Bob Marley and the Wailers. I thought, what would the Wailers, what would the girls in the Wailers sing if they had this song? And I kind of came up with that line, and I thought, yeah, that's exactly right.
I can hear that. Yeah, totally worked. On a quick aside as well, at this time of year, your voice, of course, is everywhere because of Band-Aid's Do They Know It's Christmas? What an amazing project to have been involved in. How do you feel about it now, all these years later?
Do They Know It's Christmas is something, my involvement in is something I am incredibly proud of, I have to say. It's kind of the luck of the time, being around at that time, having the status that Duran Duran had at that time meant that I was one of the first two people that Bob called to see if it was going to work. I think he called me and Sting, because he'd already got Midge on board, and they were writing the song. And of course, I thought I did it, and I didn't realize so many other artists had been involved. I thought I was going to take sort of half of the song, actually.
Right.
But so it was a real shock when everybody else was singing my lines. But no, and I did get a wonderful little piece of that song. I'm very happy about it. It comes on when you're walking around the supermarket, and you just see people kind of humming along to it and singing it, and it just makes me smile.
And while we're looking back, you know what I dug out the other day? So Red the Rose, the Arcadia record.
Oh, yes.
Do you know, it's funny. People bang on about collaborations now as if it's something new.
Yeah.
I mean, that album was full of them.
No. I know, extraordinary collaborations. Dave Gilmour, Herbie Hancock, Sting,
Grace Jones,
Masami Tsuchiya, Mark Egan, yes. Steve Jordan.
What an embarrassment of riches on one record.
It was just incredible. But it didn't start off like that at all. It didn't start off as a collaborative record, but we were in Paris, and at that time, Paris is a really cool place to play. So when people people were coming over to do their shows, we were kind of calling them up and saying, "Do you fancy making an appearance on our record?" That's exactly what happened with Sting and Steve Jordan. Some of the other guys we called up because we needed somebody to play guitar, so we got in touch with Masami, and Dave. Crikey. I mean, I haven't missed anybody out. I really do.
I better go and look at the sleeve notes again for it now, because it really was. It was a very special.
Oh, yeah. Andy Mackay. How
could we forget that?
I knew I'd come up with some. It was just an extraordinary moment. I think never to be repeated, actually. Yeah. Yes. So it's a really great album. I'm going to dig it out and give it another listen.
Before we wrap, Simon, I just want to thank you for a book recommendation. The last time we sat down, we were talking about books.
Yeah.
And to this day, Robertson Davies' The Deptford Trilogy is still my favourite book of all time.
Oh God, it's absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good.
Wow. Wow. Fantastic. Have you been watching the Slow Horses on Apple TV?
I literally started it last night. I've watched the
It's
first 10 minutes of the first
it's
one.
really worth getting the book because the book has a lot of sort of it's just Mick Hedden's his description of London and of things. He gives such personality to the city and to places, and it's sort of it's slightly political as well. He's got a, it's very very now, and that's one of the things that doesn't quite translate onto the screen. I thoroughly recommend those books, and you can read them and watch the TV after you read them.
Oh, that'll be the next read then. Anyway, Simon, great to talk to you as always, and catch you soon.
All right, then. Thanks a lot, John.